heading towards New Year and our New Year's resolutions, and this week I'm going to be sorting out something which I wish I'd never done in the first place. Now, when it comes to our growing spaces, quite often we want it to look really good, really quickly. However, that short-term gain often leads to long-term pain. Now, I've been sorting out this area of the plot with my raspberry canes and obviously my brassicas cage. What I've found is something which I am absolutely just not going to do again in the future, and it's this stuff. It's weed suppressant fabric. Now, to a certain extent, yes, it works really well to start off with. However, what I found when I was trying to reconfigure everything is that it was impossible to actually get a spade through it to dig down. Now, this is actually sort of the plasticky stuff, which already isn't particularly good because it does fray and then you end up with bits all over the place. But also, it doesn't really stop the weeds to a certain extent. Now, if you've got something like I have, which is couch grass, what you find is it will actually go straight through the fabric, or it will accumulate and build up underneath and then sort of reappear in your beds where you just don't want it. So it's not really going to have done the job because this has been down for quite a while and it's just in the way. It is causing more problems than it is solving at this point. It's been down probably about 6 or 7 years. It's still there, and really, if we think about it, quite often historically we've had people putting carpets down into growing spaces and that just again breaks down and doesn't do a really good job, and the same is true of this stuff. So what I'm going to do is gradually I'm going to be pulling this up and I'm going to be replacing it with something which is a little bit in the style of no-dig gardening. So I'm going to be sorting out the brassicas cage with my no-dig, but also I'm going to be doing something with this as well. However, I need to pull it all up first before I can get on to the next stage. So, as if I didn't already know, this is actually completely insane. Look at how much couch grass is actually caught up in this matting. Now, this matting is probably, it's going to be fine for going underneath pathways or driveways. That's really what it's been designed for, but it really doesn't have any place in our growing spaces and our allotments. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, this is going to have to go to landfill because it cannot be recycled. And what I'm going to do next is actually, just like a no-dig, get some cardboard down where I've had this before, and then I'm going to wood chip over the top. Now, the difference with our actual cardboard rather than this stuff is that it will eventually mulch down. And when I have the issue again with the couch grass, I'm always going to have it here, I am actually going to be able to dig down to deal with it. But this, no wonder I've had such an issue, because just look at how much couch grass is actually on this. It's actually pretty mad. And there we have it. Now, it might not look a lot different to what it was before, but I know that it is, and it's so much better than that plastic stuff. So what I have basically done is I have future-proofed this for future me, which means that I'm going to be able to weed this area much more easily, and also it's a lot more environmentally friendly for my growing area. And let's face it, that's something that we really need to be thinking about. So if you have any plastic, get rid of it slowly, gradually as you can. And if you are new to growing, just don't put it down in the first place.